This one. Hello, my friends. My name is Kate, and welcome to the Plus Platoon. I am one of the members of the Plus Platoon. I am so excited that you all are here hanging out tonight. Hey, who are we? We are a Disney Plus fan podcast that gives honest and spoiler-filled reviews of movies and shows on Disney Plus. We look at new releases, coming attractions, and we'll even go back into the vault to revisit some of the classic Disney on that platform. We are so glad you are here tonight. We have so much good stuff to share with you. So I am going to bring up the rest of the platoon, starting with my man, Derek. Come on up, Derek.
Hey, Kate. How you doing this evening?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Enjoying back from spring break. So, on the road to the end.
I feel that. Did you get some sleep?
I did over spring break.
Good.
Not last night, but I did over spring break. So
that's fair.
Got 8 weeks, and then I just found out that I'm going to be at the first day of Food and Wine. So that's going to be exciting.
Lucky man. Lucky man. All right. Bringing up my sister from another mister. Give it up for my girl, Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi, sis. How are you?
Hey, Rebecca.
Doing great. Post-surgery, post-week and a half off, just relaxing. Happy to be here to talk about some amazing movies and shows.
Yes, ma'am. And next up, my other sister, Sam. How you doing, sis?
Hi, Kate. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited for our discussion tonight.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And rounding up the last of this group of wackadoos, we have my man, Pete. Hi, Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
I spent today on a boat in the ocean, so I've had a great day.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I'm jealous.
That is what I
had
did
a
today.
very, very long day, starting with a 7:15 a.m. doctor's appointment. So this is the highlight right now.
Yeah, I've been sitting in front of a computer doing legal research and writing all day. So this is for sure the highlight for me as well.
Yeah.
Derek, I hear that you have an announcement for our YouTube subscribers.
I do have an announcement for our YouTube subscribers and for our Facebook followers. Starting next week, we will be only on Plus Platoon Facebook and Plus Platoon YouTube. We need you to go to YouTube and search Plus Platoon and get us subscribers. We are really trying to get to 100 subscribers, and we need every subscriber we can get. That's going to be the way you get the most news from us, and that's going to be the way you're going to be able to see us and interact with us the easiest. So like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube.
Absolutely. Please go like us. We want you to hang out with us all the time. So now over to my girl, Rebecca, with Disney news.
All right, guys. So we have a lot of stuff coming in Disney news onto Disney Plus. This Friday, you can now stream one of my favorites, Night at the Museum with Ben Stiller. It's going to come to Disney Plus. So excited. Also, Star Wars Clone Wars Volumes 1 and 2, all coming to Disney Plus this Friday. In new shows that are coming up, we have a National Geographic show called Sharks of the Bermuda Triangle, which the name speaks for itself. I'm excited to watch it and learn more about sharks and all of the stuff that's in the Bermuda Triangle. It's one of the craziest things ever. Then they also have a show called Made in a Day coming out, which is basically how it's made reboot. It's about modern things, telling us how they're made. We go into different factories and get to see that. So I'm really excited. Last but not least, we also have Cruella on May 28th and Black Widow on July 9th, which will be available on Disney Plus with Premiere Access. So really looking forward to getting to watch those as well.
You are right. It's so good. So excited for Cruella.
Yeah.
I know Brian over here said, wait, how did Kate get on a cruise? Man, brother, I wish I was on a cruise. I was just out on a boat with some friends, but it was smooth sailing, so it was great. Okay, everybody, it is time. Did we lose Sam?
We lost Sam. She's coming back. Sam's got internet issues tonight.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of what we have tonight. Welcome back, Sam. Falcon,
I'm back. You lost me for a
Soldier. I'm so glad you're back. It wouldn't be the same without you. Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 2. I am so ready to get into it. First question, what were your initial impressions of Falcon and Winter Soldier? Sam, why don't you kick us off?
So I will say I enjoyed this episode a lot. I liked how the two characters finally got together. I also really enjoyed that therapy session, you guys. That was hilarious. That just brought back all that Avengers humor that the reason why we love the MCU is because they know how to do humor in addition to doing all the fun action. So that was like my favorite scene. I like how we don't know really yet, like who's bad, who's good. I really don't like Kirkland brand Captain America, but I understand. But I understand, why they're bringing him in, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the series brings. But so far, I'm thumbs up all the way on this series. Pete, what's your impression?
Yeah, they made that off-brand Captain America kind of jerky, right? I'm trying to think of a PG term for what he is, but it doesn't seem like he's necessarily bad. You don't know, but he's definitely not. He definitely has foot and mouth disease, I think, because he certainly insulted both Sam and Bucky several times. So I enjoyed the episode a lot. I still feel that what they're doing here is they're giving us a 6-hour Marvel movie that has more character development filling in the little bits, and I'm enjoying that a lot. If you take it as this is a TV series, things are going to happen slower than they would in a movie, and so you're getting a little bit of that character development of the two characters. Now we're getting them interacting with each other, getting to see how they felt about their relationship with Captain America, and you're getting some quieter moments with the characters. So I think that's nice. I'm still not sure if it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I'm still enjoying it. It's one of those things that I keep wanting to. I want to see what happens next. So it's effective.
Yeah, totally.
What about you, Kate?
Yeah, I actually agree with Sam. I agree with both of you. But Sam, they added comedy, which is something that we talked about in past episodes. Is I want to see the comedy come through. I also thought it was very, very interesting. How they handled certain situations with like when Sam and Bucky, the cops show up, and it just was a very I'm like, ooh, they're going there. They're going there right now. This is wow. Okay, this is where we're going. I every time I see it, I fall more in love with Sam. I just love him, and I will be honest, he was not one of my favorite events. He was always just kind of in the background for me. But this is making me just adore him. And yeah, so I thought it was, I will be interested to see where it's going. My last thing is, and I'm so bad with names. I need to write them down. The redheaded curly haired girl. With the mask.
Yeah, the Flag Smashers.
Yes. I am so intrigued by her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very intrigued by her and what will happen with her. So that's me. What about you, Derek?
Okay, it's time for the How is Derek Wrong segment of the week. Because to me, there are times when a story is really, really weak, but they stretch it into a long movie. Or they take something like The Hobbit, the shortest of those books, and stretch them into 3 movies. That's what I feel like I'm getting with this. There's a reason most movies are only 2 to 2.5 hours long. To me, everything we've done so far could have been either 1 episode or even 20 minutes. I feel like they really could have done most of this so far in 20 minutes. I don't feel like there's been any progress in the main plot. I mean, I'm assuming that's the Flag Smashers against the U.S., but it's nothing's moving. Now we've got Hydra. Now we've Batrocks out there somewhere. It feels like it's going to be a 6-hour trailer to whatever the next movie they want those two guys involved in.
Wow.
Solid point.
It's one thing
I do have to
love
say this. Welcome to the MCU. That's kind of what they do.
I know. But one thing I loved about WandaVision, I loved the shorter episodes because there was either a cliffhanger or a twist every 30 minutes. Now I'm barely getting it every 50. So it's not my thing. I mean, I'll keep watching it and keep hoping it's better, but it has not done a hook. I mean, as Ed says, was there enough humor to draw Derek to Marvel? Not yet. Because even some of the humor felt very forced. Like that little girl kicked your behind comment wasn't needed. Because Captain Marvel could have kicked his behind. And all this, Wanda could have kicked his behind. The Black Widow could have kicked his behind. All these very strong Marvel women are the strongest people in the Marvel universe and are not. The whole misogynistic thing really was that was a 1980s joke that didn't need to happen.
I didn't think about it that way. That's a solid point.
So, Rebecca, tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I could go off every single thing you said and have like a tangent for it, but you're entitled. I mean, you were completely entitled to feel how exactly you want to feel, and that's okay. I do a lot of watching videos after I watch the episodes from someone who is a huge comic book fan. And the stuff that was released in this episode is really, really important to those type of people. Mm-hmm. We learn a lot about Isaiah. What's his last name?
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name.
The African American super soldier.
Oh,
yeah.
Starts with an H.
Oh, no, Hopkins? Is it Hopkins?
Think,
the one who's the sidekick of the new cat.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about
no. The guy who beat Bucky.
Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley.
Yep.
He was tested on like Bucky, and that goes back to even more political nature of the U.S. government using Black soldiers as guinea pigs in this time for the super soldier serum. And Isaiah Bradley was one of those that was thrown in prison. We get to learn all about the torturous things that him and a lot of other Black soldiers had to go through because of what they were trying to compete with Bucky and with Captain America being out using that same thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Kate said, I feel like the stance of what the cops that scene, immediately I was like, exactly, they're going there. They're doing this. They are bringing light to issues that are so important and so monumental to this time period. And it was, to me, just a game changer. Like, I was more intrigued with how many times I was like, wow, they're doing this. Wow, they are really bringing light to this issue. Kind of like with WandaVision, they really brought up a lot of women empowerment things. We'll get to it in the future, but now we're going to be talking about the Mighty Ducks. We have a woman who's the coach, There's things that Disney are doing that I think speak more than just the storyline of an episode. And I applaud them just for that alone. Mm-hmm. And I think that to me speaks more volume than any type of story. So I was really impressed with just how well they were. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think so too. And we even find out, so Isaiah Bradley's, I think it's his grandson that opened the door, is part of the Young Avengers, which is another comic book series out there. So that brings him in, and that brings Wanda's children in. They're a part of that. So it's just so many things that were brought back in the comics that are being developed in this series that is monumental.
Yeah. And Willie says, amount of seed, there were a ton of seeds planted, but when's the forest going to start to grow was my question.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
one wanted to point out there was, the new character that we met who is the sort of the sidekick to the new Captain America, the Kroger brand or Kirkland brand Captain America. He called himself Battlestar. So I know there was a reference that, in Ed's comment to a character Battlestar from the comic books, but I actually think it's not going to be Isaiah. It's this other guy. I think his name was Hopkins or something. So anyway, just wanted to point out that little nugget. It's to Willie's point, tons of little seeds being planted for the future movies and obviously for the rest of this series.
Totally. Totally. So the next question, moving on from there, the next logical question is, who can you trust? Who can we trust in all of this? Pete, why don't you kick us off?
Well, that's always a good question with Marvel because generally there's a lot of people that you can't trust. I feel like the way they presented the off-brand Cap was you can actually trust him and Battlestar, which is his sidekick there. I shouldn't call him his sidekick. It's his partner. Let's call him his partner.
No, he's a sidekick.
Well, yeah, but I think they're sincere in that they want to help. They're just, it's anytime you get the veteran guys and then you get the cocky new kids, and the cocky new kids are too cocky, so you get annoyed by them, But I think, gosh, I don't think I would trust anybody else on the show. I certainly wouldn't trust going to see Zemo. I mean, they're going to go see Zemo in this next episode. I definitely wouldn't trust whoever put new Captain America out there. And they also mentioned the power broker in passing. So what's interesting is the super soldiers. And I did look it up real quick. The name of the Flag Smashers head of the Flag Smashers is named Carly. And I'm thinking maybe that group is going to turn out to be on the side of good, and they're working because if they're working against the power broker is typically seen as a villain. So maybe we're going to get surprised that that group of Flag Smashers are actually trying to do good, even though they're not really, on the side of the government. So yeah, I don't know. Who can you trust? I don't know.
I
don't know who you can trust. I trust Cap and Bucky. All right, Bucky and Sam. That's about it. But I think, as I said, I'm kind of feeling like the Flag Smashers aren't going to be the real bad guys here.
Pete,
what do you think,
you literally took the words out of my mouth. Listen, Sam has my heart. Sam and Bucky, I just feel like we have to trust them. And maybe I'm wrong because Marvel's really good at sleight of hand. But I am so intrigued by this Carly girl. I don't know if it's something about her look but I trust her. And I don't like that because they are portraying her as someone bad, but there is something about her that I'm so intrigued by. Quick question. Am I supposed to know who this Zemo person is?
Yeah, you are.
Zemo was the bad guy in Civil War. He's the one
he was in control of.
He triggered Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Got it. It's been so long since I've seen that. Yeah. So okay.
And he manipulated Iron Man and Steve to go to Siberia or wherever they ended up going. Okay. And got them fighting against each other. Basically, he kind of played them against each other, and then he was going to kill himself, and Black Panther stopped him from killing himself. So,
oh my gosh! And can we talk about when the kid was like, "It's Black Falcon," and that conversation had me laughing out loud. Thank you, because it's been a really long time since I've seen Winter Soldier, Captain America, all that fun stuff. Derek, who do you trust?
Short answer is nobody. I don't trust Bucky. I do not trust Bucky.
Really?
Nope. Because part of it is, yes, he's been reprogrammed, but in the end credits, it has the list of words that can be used to trigger him. So I'm not sure, especially with them going to see Zemo. not Zima, but that's talk about a 90s flashback.
A flashback, yeah.
But I'm not sure I trust Bucky. Pete, I don't trust the new Cap. I do not trust Kroger Cap. Because if he has a chance, is he gonna go against Sam if he has the opportunity to be the bigger hero? Because I'm also wondering, yes, he's supposed to be this physical marvel. Anyway, sorry. Dad joke in there. But I think he's a super soldier. I really do. Because otherwise, they're setting him up for this and I don't buy it. Also, I'm not sure about somehow Sam's going to get the shield. So that tells me something happens to Kroger Cap. So,
yeah, I feel like he's not going to make it. Let's put it that way. I don't think he's going to make it through the whole season. Kroger Cap, but
I don't think he's going to make it.
You could be right. It could be that he betrays and
Yeah, it's just I don't trust. Yeah, and to me, trusting someone to me means they're on the side of Sam. Because that's how this. Because I think they could be not trust someone, but both be working towards the same end. So I think trust is going to be kind of a fluid thing here.
I just feel like they're not going to turn Bucky again because they already did that. I mean, they kind of that's what happened in Civil War. So I know they could do it again, but I just feel like I don't feel like they're going to do that again.
I think there's going to be an episode where he's at least tempted, or they try to turn him. So, Rebecca, how about you? Who do you trust?
Not you, Derek.
I know what I mean. I'm wrong. We have established I am wrong. At least according to these four.
I truthfully want to know which one you want me to start on.
Start with Sam.
Who do you trust? Do you trust anybody?
Do you trust anybody?
The only person that I can say 100% I do not trust is the government.
Oh, yeah.
Down with the patriarchy.
Even if Bucky gets turned, it's out of his control. So I trust him because it's not like he's voluntarily changing himself back to Winter Soldier to cause mass destruction and assassins. It's something that he can't do anything about that. So I have to trust him. It's not.
And I think that goes to your definition of what is trust.
Cool. We're getting deep now, folks.
Yeah.
I think trust goes to the inherent nature of the person, right? So I'm with Rebecca on this. I feel like I feel like I can trust Sam and Bucky, but I'm not sure of who else I can trust. Although I agree with Kate that Flag Smashers, at least this group led by Carly, this group stole the medicine from somebody else who's coming after them, and so that's probably the bad guy. I don't think they're the bad guy. Oh, sorry, Rebecca, you had something else to say.
She wasn't quite done, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. And I mean, it's a round robin, but I believe that the vaccine that they stole, the medicine that they stole, is actually this serum. So here's my theory, and that it is Power Broker is the number one villain. He's this guy that eventually Sam, Bucky, maybe even Kroger Cap, I think probably the Flag Smashers all are working together, because I also believe that the Power Brokers are distributing, or he is distributing this soldier serum to anyone who wants it. He has this power and is able to sell this soldier serum to whoever. It was tested on all of the Flag Smashers. The reason that they're able to drop kick people tens of hundreds of feet, backflips from whatever, from moving semi trucks. There's something there. The same, I think that this guy is probably the main villain. I am completely trusting of Carly and the power, and not the Power Brokers, the Flag Smashers, because that's just how they're writing it. They're writing it on purpose for, these are the bad guys. They're against Sam and Bucky. Well, yeah, right now, until I realize there's a common goal, someone greater that we're fighting. This person's out to murder her. I will find you and kill you was literally a text message that this power broker sent her. And, you know, and I believe that we're going to figure out who he is. I don't know what Zemo is going to have any to do over it, except he knows a lot about what they use the soldier serum for. So I think that's why they're going. But other than that, the only person that I'm like, can't trust you is the government, and any of them. I don't care where it's from.
Yeah, and I will agree. I'm going to say I agree with Rebecca that there is going to be this common enemy, but I'm not sure if we're going to see the Flag Smashers kind of align with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it's going to be more of a like triple or quadruple fights and stuff like that. I think we're going to see a series of different fights throughout the rest of the series. But I agree. You know, I trust Bucky and Falcon, and that's pretty much it. But I do think that the Flag Smashers being the bad guys is a bit of a red herring. I think they're going to be maybe they will be anti-heroes. I don't know exactly, but they're not going to be the real villains, at least. And
to me, again, that pulls into the fact of what do you consider, who do you consider being able to trust on which side? Because this is one of those. I think there's more than two sides right now. More than two sides, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
We've got some awesome comments.
As Brian says, it's Marvel. Trust no one.
Fair.
Ed says, how Sam and Bucky chose not to work with Kroger Cap and Battlestar because they operate under the rules of engagement. Felt like a reference to the tension in the Civil War. Oversight versus freedom.
Good point, Ed.
Ed is quickly becoming my favorite fan because he says to trust me. I tell it how I see it. I mean, there's no point in pulling punches on this, guys.
I love that. All right. Any final thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I just can't wait for more.
I'm sad that we're halfway done.
No, we're a third done. And
one third.
It's only a third. Really? Yeah, it's only a third done.
Because there's 6 episodes, right?
Right. Now 4, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to shift gears, everybody.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Guys, the Mighty Ducks. All right. The big question is the Quack Attack back? Derek, hit it off.
Yes. You guys, I like this. I know it's shocking, but I like this. Now, I know, I have a feeling I'm still going to be considered wrong by some of you, but I said I may be grading this on a curve after getting to watch 2 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I really enjoyed this. I know it's softer than that, but from the first episode, I'm seeing it's hoping it's not going to be all about winning, which I can see. That's what I hoped before we started. I think, the girl that's hurt is eventually going to come over to the team. She's going to be the Banks character the cakey character that comes over. Mm-hmm. I think Bombay's eventually going to be an assistant coach because I really hope they leave Alex as the head. Yes, I think they're going to win eventually. I don't think it's going to go to the championship. I loved the fact when he was out there skating, Evan wore that University of Minnesota sweatshirt, just like Charlie did in the original.
Wow.
And so they're making those kind of callbacks. I think there's going to be all sorts of Easter eggs. I think we're going to see cameos everywhere.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to watching the next episode of this. Rebecca, but then again, that's me, the Mighty Ducks were my jam. So, Rebecca, what did you think of the Mighty Ducks?
So I thought it was, I really did think it was a great show. Do I have a problem with the wording of the question? Yes, because it's not about the Ducks really anymore. And it's about this other team, right? The Don't Bothers. And so I'm like, the question, I don't know if the Quack Attack is back because it's really, they're the anti-heroes or the villains of this series.
Right, but to me, the question was asking, is the show's mojo back? Is how I looked at that.
I think it's 1,000,000 times better than the movies. 1,000,000. And that's because it's just I didn't grow up with that. That came out years before I was born. I never watched it. My parents never watched it. So it's not like when we did the vaults, that was the first time I had ever seen it. And I was like, it's the cheesy underdog win story that has now been overdone so many times by Disney and by other people that I've just seen that story in better ways. I think this first episode moved a little fast, if I'm being honest. It went to one practice, okay, you're cut. Oh, we have a team, and now we're going into the season. To me, it was like, whoa, like we just kind of jumped literally the opposite of how you feel Falcon and Winter Soldier is going. I feel like this is just moving a little too fast, but it was great still.
Yeah, to me that's fair. I mean, they do have 10 episodes, but they're shorter episodes.
Yeah, and it just moved fast. I love the woman coach, and I think if they replaced her, it would be a horrible move. I think that they probably have her as the coach for a reason, and they're definitely. And I like what Brian says, that Bombay's role feels unnatural. Not that if he's not going to coach, but it really feels like they're just trying to use. I mean, I know he was one of the original actors, so they're trying to use him in the series, but like it just really feels like they're fine. They found a role for him just so he could be in it, and it's not like any important.
I've heard some of the interviews with him though about what's coming up in future episodes, and I don't want to spoil that. It's going to make a whole lot more sense as far as why he hates hockey, why he's not coaching. Episodes 2 and 3 are definitely, you get a lot more of his backstory where he's gone from yay hockey to I hate hockey and I don't like kids. Which is, which I thought was funny because that was his line in the original movie. Was right. when he talks to District 5, it's I hate hockey and I don't like kids. Great pep talk there, Coach. So, Sam, what are your thoughts?
So first, I would like to point to Brian's next comment, which is, I guess he's like the Miyagi, which kind of feels a little bit that sort of makes sense. This idea that he's sort of the elder teacher to teach the new coach. Okay. I'm going to be honest, you guys. I did not really like this show. I didn't hate it. Let me qualify it with I didn't hate it. And my 7-year-old really enjoyed it. And so we're going to keep watching it, probably because we're going to be talking about it on this show and because he's going to want to continue watching it. But I felt like it was kind of cheesy and recycled. It was just not my jam. I didn't love the casting of Lauren Graham. I think she's actually a little bit too old for the role.
I would agree on that one.
I thought they should have cast a younger mom.
I don't think Kate agrees with you.
I know.
It's not my turn yet. I will talk about it when it's my turn.
And I love Lauren Graham.
Me too. I really enjoyed Lauren Graham. I liked her in Gilmore Girls. So I like her as a mom character. I just wish that they had gone with, somebody maybe like 5 or 10 years younger, who's a new mom, who hasn't been a mom figure on a different, show already. Like like I said, it just felt like she's playing the same character. It felt recycled and a little cheesy. It was, like I said, it's not terrible. It just didn't really tug at my heartstrings because I felt like they're just replaying sort of the same story and with a little bit of a twist, obviously. So yeah, it wasn't my jam. I also don't love Gordon Bombay's role. I'm not convinced that he has a necessary role. And obviously, to Derek's point, they'll hopefully tease that out more in the next couple of episodes. But yeah, it's like I said, I didn't hate it. I just didn't really like it either.
Well,
Gina's on my side, for the record. Yeah. Gina's on my side.
Lauren can read the dictionary and it's perfect.
Amen, sister.
I do the encyclopedia maybe, but maybe not the dictionary. Pete, what do you think about it? Break this tie.
I was just about to say to Sam, it's funny that Rebecca and I were the two that did not like the original Mighty Ducks and neither of us had seen it up to that point until we were adults, right? Now seeing this new show, I actually like this. I can't say a million times better, but I like this better than the original Mighty Ducks. I think the kids on that original movie felt very generic. I mean, these kids we don't know that much about yet, especially other than the two lead friends,
2 lead boys.
Because everybody else they kind of pulled in. But again, that's the good thing about a TV series is hopefully we'll get to know each of these characters a little more as the series goes on. And in the original movie, they were kind of all this mesh of, just kind of punky.
They were stock
kids.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get more of that. I didn't have a problem with Laura Graham being. I'm with Gina. She can read a phone book. I'm good. And I'm not a huge Gilmore Girls fan, but I've always liked Laura Graham in anything that she's in. So I'm happy to see her. Was Emilio Estevez underutilized in the first episode? Sure, but let's give it a chance. I want to keep watching. So that's where I'm at with it, and it's more than I can say about the Mighty Ducks movie. It did not make me want to watch Mighty Ducks 2. So yeah,
I'm giving it a
enjoying
chance.
it. I mean, is it up here, in great cinema? It is predictable. It's a sports movie. There's very little you can do with, or it's a sports series. There's very little you can do with that. There's winning and there's losing, right? There's two outcomes. Yeah. So you got to go with one of them.
Cheesy and recycled. Isn't that the definition of Disney? Well, it's definition of Marvel anyway. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate's got a.
Okay. I have so many thoughts. I loved it. And I think I loved it because I went in with really low expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I went in thinking, well, first of all, I went in thinking it was only going to be like 25 minutes and it was 41. And so I thought I had enough time, and I did end up watching it, but I was late to something because I wanted to finish watching it. I loved it. I think Gina, my girl, you and me are like this. Lauren Graham, and listen, I can't even call her Lauren Graham. I have to call her Lorelai Gilmore. I thought she did so good, but I will give you this. I loved Gilmore Girls, and so I don't know if my love for Lauren Graham is translated because I loved her so much in Gilmore Girls, but I loved how they portrayed Emilio Estevez. I loved, is it corny? Is it cheesy? You betcha. Yeah. And did I love every single minute of it? You betcha. When the kid was like doing all the things and he goes, nah, then I got to put on pants. And then he turns and he I died. Oh. And it just or when they had the boy doing like the hair thing, I was like, yes, 80s hair flip. I loved every part of it. But you have to also remember, I am a motivational speaker. I always cheer for the underdog. And so oh my God, I loved every part of it. I cannot wait. I'm more excited for this than I am Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, totally.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
I think I was only pleasantly, I can only give this Mighty Ducks a positive review because I was so underwhelmingly pleased with the movie that this just seemed like such a good step above that I was like, okay, you know what? I can watch this. Had we did Back in the Vault of the second, you guys have already said not to watch the second or third Mighty Ducks, but I probably wouldn't have participated. I was like, no, I just can't. But I can do this show because it's just such a step above.
Yeah.
When I
first turned it on and it said, okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said when I first turned it on and it said 41 minutes, I was like, ugh. I thought this was a 20-minute show, but then I ended up enjoying the 40 minutes. So yeah. Go ahead, Kate.
No, I can no.
Ed, you just feel me, brother. He is on the moon, and I don't have my sign. I will have it next week. Don't you worry.
Sorry, Kate can't be with us anymore. No.
That was really well played.
Yeah, thank you.
I loved it. So, any final thoughts on Mighty Ducks?
Jennifer says, I think Lauren Graham would be a great portrayal of what a modern mom could look like, older single mom figure. Yeah, I'm kind of with Sam on this one. To me, a little too old for. I mean, unless I really hope this doesn't happen, that they try and get some kind of a romantic interest between her and Bombay.
100%. That's what I think.
I know. I know that's coming. I don't want it to come. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why that was. So that's
Yeah.
but honestly, that
That's
was part of
nice.
my thinking too, Derek. I don't want to have a romantic relationship between, her character and Gordon Bombay's character. And I think they picked her probably because that potential exists, or they're planning on that romantic relationship. But, she's in, I think, her mid-50s, and so is he. So they're appropriate age to one another.
Yeah.
I just would like no romantic relationship. And I would have, I thought a mom in maybe her 40s would have been a slightly better pick. I'm not talking about a 20-year-old playing playing the mom.
No, but
She's
late 30s, early
54.
40s. Yeah.
She's 50. Lauren Graham is 54. She does not look 54. Like, I don't
On
think.
some
But
of the
I
up close
also
shots, yeah, she did.
So a love interest 100% is coming. I could have called that.
Having her do the skating routine. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, they made it.
I hope they're wrong. I want to know, okay, if they do that, they have to explain what happened between him and Charlie's mom. Because in D1, D1, D2, and D3, they were all still together. So I think if that's going to happen, they need to
they need to kill her off or something. Yeah. They need to have her have died or something.
Leftover cake. Funny story about that, Eric. I read an interview where he didn't want to eat leftover cake because he had to do so many takes. So it was actually cornbread. And he got he would have rather had the cake. He got so sick of dry cornbread with frosting on it. So, but yeah, I like
So can we talk about the one elephant in the room, though? The Mighty Ducks are the bad guys in this, and I'm not as a huge fan of the Mighty Ducks, but it's like, how can you call the show the Mighty Ducks when I don't know? It's like let's
not
call
about the Ducks.
Yeah, it's not about the Ducks. It's about
that's why I liked it.
Because it wasn't about the Ducks. Yeah.
And I want to know, okay, is the logo they were using off of the animated series? The Mighty Ducks logo, because believe it or not, there was an animated Mighty Ducks series. Watch it after you watch D2 and D3. No, don't. Yeah. As Brian says, Disney, tragic accident always befalls the parent.
I feel like Brian is a writer for Disney movies. He kind of knows every single plot.
Yeah.
He's just my husband. He's actually one of those.
Just my husband. Just my husband. I see how that goes.
He's one of those people, though, who basically predicts the ending of every movie. Like he watches a ton of movies, and he really does predict the ending of almost all of them correctly. Like he'll predict what the twist is going to be in a particular movie or show, and it drives me crazy.
My boyfriend does the same thing. He does the same thing.
As Gina says, the real life Ducks are doing so bad this year. It's better they're the bad guys. So, and Brian took the point. Yeah. Yes.
It's Disney. Mom always dies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
They do.
Charlie's mom died, I bet. Yeah.
Bambi.
Yeah.
Look at Bambi.
Where's Charlie?
Oh no.
All right, everybody. Well, that is it for this week. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we love hanging out and chatting and disagreeing with Derek. Although I agreed with Derek this week.
I know.
Next week, as Derek was so nicely pointing, we have the 3rd episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier and the 2nd episode of the Mighty Ducks. Remember, we talk all things spoilers, so make sure you watch those before you join us. And a nice reminder, we are not going to be, and make sure I say this right, Derek, on the My DVC Points Facebook anymore. We are going to be on Facebook/Plus Platoon. So make sure you go and like that page so that you can join us live every Wednesday. We want to be here. We want to see your comments. We love hearing what you all have to say. Also, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube, search Plus Platoon. We're here for it. Derek, anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I think it's nice evening. And
I was going to say also our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Even if you watch on Facebook, subscribe on the YouTube channel. And if you watch on YouTube, subscribe on the Facebook channel. That helps us out. Even if you use one or the other, subscribe on both, because that helps the show get seen in both locations. So,
And for all of you following along, if there is a movie that you want us to pull from the vault on a week where there isn't something happening, please let us know. We want to watch the movies that you are watching. We want to be in community with you. So make sure that you let us know what you're watching. We want to hear about it. So, hey, we have had so much fun tonight. We are going to get out of here, but we will see you next Wednesday right here. And by right here, I mean on the Plus Platoon Facebook. And I hope you all have a great night. See you real soon.